Fstoppers.com has teamed up with Mike Kelly to produce Where Art Meets Architecture 2. It covers everything you need to know about photographing and editing luxury properties, and this is the behind-the-scenes series. To learn more about the full tutorial, head over to fstoppers.com/store. So it is currently day 2 of filming. We are heading where, Patrick?
Venice Beach, Muscle Beach. I think this is where all the like rollerbladers and weightlifters are.
It's apparently like a $15 million condo that we're shooting, but Mike keeps saying like you're gonna be shocked by how small it is. Basically, all of its value comes in its location, not necessarily its size or its land or anything. So I'm very interested to see what this property actually looks like, because this guy would not let us shoot this location for free. Almost everything else that we're shooting, they're happy to let us shoot it for free as long as they get the pictures. This guy was not having it. So just for the ability to shoot it, I think we've paid $2,000 or $3,000 just to be able to photograph it today.
We are here in Venice, California, shooting one of my favorite houses. I'm so excited to shoot this. This is a beautiful, brand new, modern house right on the beach. It's an amazing piece of real estate, and I'm so psyched to be shooting this because there's so many interesting angles and so many interesting things about this house. I know it's gonna be a great shoot. This house is the complete opposite of the last house that we shot. Rather than being open and bright and airy, this one is a bit darker, the ceilings are a lot higher, there's black floors, there's wood everywhere. So it's an entirely different mood, and that, of course, is going to affect how we photograph it.
Don't stop now, Mike.
November rain.
So we filmed pretty late last night, and I had woken up early, and so nothing got transferred yesterday. So now at this house, I have to set up the server and the computer and transfer like 8 memory cards and all of our cell phone footage. So this is what we try not to do. So I have now been working for over an hour on this, and I cannot get our brand new computer to work. It transfers for about 20 seconds to the server, and then it stops working. I can get our old laptops to work just fine. And I think I have narrowed down the problem to this. This is the new USB 3 to Ethernet adapter. And of course, these new computers are too thin to have Ethernet, so you have to use these. This, I believe, is the weak link.
All right, so through this production, we take turns directing and then syncing and editing and backing everything up. So it's kind of my turn now to take control over the files in the project, and I'm going to show you guys what I have here. Basically what I'm doing here is I'm syncing cameras 1, 2, and 3, making sure the audios are perfect, and then I'm grouping all of the segments and coloring them based on the photograph. And then in B-roll we have all these tiny little clips of all the little stuff that we need to put within the lesson.
So if you look at this shot right now, every single line in the architecture, in the ceiling, in the floor, is leading directly into the exact center of the frame. That is the most traditional one-point perspective. And I think that this works for a lot of reasons. There are a lot of strong compositional leading lines. The exposed ceiling, you have those beams in there, it's gonna create a great series of repetitive lines pulling our eye through. And again, like I just mentioned, everything in this room is aligned around a central focus point, which is directly in the middle of the frame.
While we were in the area, we decided to check out Venice Beach.
So they have these medicinal doctors here that prescribe.
Really legit. Let me zoom in real quick. They have like a green mascot, and for 40 bucks, you can see a doctor right now.
They look like inmates that have green fatigues on or something. We'll see if I can get a green card here and buy pot legally.
So Patrick just spoke to the Dr. Seuss character for a few seconds, and then they just took him upstairs. So he might be getting his physical checkup.
I go through an evaluation from a doctor, and it's this Jewish dude who's just, I start talking about the condition that I have, And he's like, clearly has no idea anything. He signs off on it and I go to another waiting room. So I just start looking up the reviews to see if there's any catch. And this place comes up on Yelp with like half a star or 1 star. They say basically the $40 they advertise is for an evaluation, which is a guaranteed signature from a doctor. But then to get the license, to get the card or the certificate that you need to carry, it's like $100 for 3 months or $250 for a year. And you sit down with this lady who has an ATM right next to her. So I'm like, I just flat up tell her, I'm like, am I gonna be able to get a license for 40 bucks? And she's like, well, you got the evaluation. I said, well, I don't even think the doctor evaluated me because I just lied about the condition that I had. And she instantly was like, well, let me have you talk to my supervisor. She opens the door, you were there asking questions, and next thing I know, they hand me my ID card immediately.
Can you recommend the Green Doctor?
No.
Back at the house, we moved on to the next lesson.
There's a little bit more on the right-hand side that I want to capture. So all I'm going to do is going to turn the knob on the lens. I'm going to go to the right, and the camera is not moving, but the field of view is changing. And that is the beauty of a tilt-shift lens. Even though I am physically blocked from moving the camera to the right, I can pick up more. I can go all the way over and pick up almost as much as I want on that right-hand side. I love my tilt-shift lenses and they're pretty much exclusively what I'm going to use throughout this tutorial. But if you don't have a tilt-shift lens, I think you could still pull this off by shooting really wide. Say if you went to like 17 millimeters and cropped, but you're gonna have a lot of problem with distortion around the edges, you're gonna lose a lot of megapixels, and it's gonna be a lot harder to light. If you try to use a light and the 17mm lens catches it or something and it starts to flare, you're gonna have a lot more to contend with than if you're just using a tilt shift lens and shift it over.
I can control every single light in every room within 1% increments from 0 to 100%.
Yeah.
Thermostats too. The security cameras, I can like connect to support somehow, I think. There's a camera in this thing, but
Yeah, it's like
I cannot figure out how to lower the blinds.
Oh my gosh, this is a nightmare. While Adam tries to figure out that system, we have found out that it's actually a remote.
Gotcha.
That's what we needed right there.
Thank you so much.
So while we were shooting the other shot coming from this direction, looking this way earlier in the day, I thought it would be cool to kind of get a shot looking back this way, but from our frames earlier in the day, we kind of took a few test shots. I wasn't loving it. I thought it would make a much better twilight shot. So here we are. We've set the camera up. We've locked down our composition. We're waiting for the light to fall. What we're going to do to light this is we're going to use a hot light to light the whole thing. Like I said earlier, I love the way that hot light looks on wood. We have a mostly wood interior. It's going to add an amazing, nice, warm glow. We're going to use long exposures and use really long trails of light to create a really inviting, warm, glowy mood in here.
I am doing some time lapses just of the sunset out here as the sun dips below the horizon, and I have this really cool shot with the palm trees and then people standing around watching skaters. So I have these cool silhouettes of people moving around. Pretty amazing place. It looks just like it does in all of the movies.
That night, Mike and his girlfriend took us out to an amazing dinner.
So we are in like a 7-Eleven. This is what you live with?
This is my life. This is trying to park in this.
This is ridiculous. Look at this.
It's like a comedy.
Look at where we are. Oh, I was joking. It actually is a 7-Eleven.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What is this?
That is a green tea mochi bean shaved ice.
You stupid hipster.
Heavenly.
Look at you.
It's just green tea ice cream.
Yeah.
Red
It's
bean.
not ice cream though. It's like shaved
Shaved
ice.
After finishing our hipster ice cream, Patrick and I decided to go on a little adventure.
Patrick is obsessed with Skid Row. He's been watching documentaries. We drove through it during the day the other day, and it was crazy. In case you didn't know, I didn't know what it was. It's basically just thousands.
It's four square miles of people who are homeless. It's like a third world country in downtown LA.
But everyone is just living in the streets in tents, all up and down this huge. Like we're in this incredible downtown area of LA, and then all of a sudden you'll just start seeing people in tents everywhere.
Yesterday going through in the day was kind of sketchy, and now here it is 11 o'clock at night.
We're almost there. I'll try to record some video, but they do not like people recording, so I'm gonna turn the light off and try to like keep it secretive. Hard to see on video.
Be careful when you come to these stoplights. Street right now.
I don't think I would walk on the street. Look at all these tents. It's kind of raining, and that most people are in their tents. This is so crazy. Oh shit.
To learn more about the full photography tutorial, head over to fstoppers.com/store and stay tuned for next week's episode when Pi from SLR Lounge takes us out in his race car.
I'm glad that happened, Wayne.
I feel like it was worth coming because you got to wreck.
Yeah.